All right, I got a minute after 7 o'clock, so we will go ahead and get started. I'll call the May 19th, 2025 Erlanger Board of Adjustment special hearing to order, and we'll take a roll call to determine if we have a quorum. Mr. Terry Farrow.
Present.
Mr. John McVeigh.
Present.
Mr. Noah Osterhag.
Present.
Mr. Eric Rolfe.
Present.
And myself, Bob Whalen, present. We do have a quorum. You guys have received a copy of the minutes from the March 24th, 2025 Board of Adjustment hearing. Any additions or corrections to be made at this time? There being none, I will entertain a motion for the minutes to be adopted as presented. We have a motion?
I make a motion to adopt the meeting minutes.
Motion by Mr. Rolfe. Do we have a second?
A second.
Mr. McVeigh seconds. Those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Being none, minutes are approved. To staff, are there any postponements of any scheduled business items to be made at this time?
None today, Mr. Chairman.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Sorry, I'm going to turn your mic off. I was getting a howl. All right. Before we open the public hearing, today I usually like to walk through. I see we got a couple of people here in the audience. I don't know if you guys are all together, separate, or whatnot, but usually how it works is first we'll hear from PDS staff who will present their report, and then we'll hear from the applicant regarding the request. And then we open it up to the public, those in order, those that are in favor of the request, those opposed to the request, and those are neutral. It is not a Q&A, a back and forth to the applicant for the public. It's just you want to come up, say what you have to say, sit down. After that, I always like to have the applicant come back up and they have the opportunity to clarify or respond to any questions or concerns you have. They don't have to. It's their discretion if they want to do it or not. Then we will close that and have a discussion amongst the board members where we can ask questions to the applicant or to staff and clarifications, questions that we have. Then we take a vote on the matter, the final ruling's made. If there is a tie, the request is considered dead. At that point, another board member can choose to make another motion to be made to get it to move along, but at the end of the day, if there is a tie, the motion's dead. So I'll now go ahead and open the public hearing where we have one item on this evening's agenda. And I'm going to go through the following people signed in to speak. You don't all have to speak, but if you are not on the list, you will not be able to speak. And if I will, hopefully I don't butcher your name. So if you could tell me what the correct pronunciation is, and if you are the applicant himself, you are for, you are against, you are neutral, that'll help. So the first one I have, Patrick Dembo, I know him with PDS. Mr. Shute, is it TJ? Applicant for, proposed, against? For. Thank you. Jerry Henke. Jerry, yes, for. Thank you, sir. Mario Gadea? Very well. For? Yeah. Very good. Anita Patel? For. Okay. And Daniel Woodward? Applicant. So obviously you are for. So thank you guys. All right. Let's move on. And the first item on this evening's public agenda is BOA-25-0013, 3208 Dixie Highway, applicant Daniel Woodward per Flower Power 5390 LLC on behalf of Jerome E. Henke. The request is to change from one non-conforming use to another in the community commercial zone for the Erlanger zoning ordinance. In summary, the applicant proposes to convert the existing building from light fabrication, which is the existing non-conforming use, to medical cannabis cultivation, another non-conforming use. And we have Mr. Dembo up to present his report. Do you have a copy of your report to submit for the record?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Bring it on up if you would.
And I will say for the record too, this is also the submitted materials and the presentation.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, sir. All right, and Mr. Dembo, were the appropriate notifications made?
Yes, per KRS requirements.
Thank you, sir. And to the board members, are there any conflicts of interest? There being none. To the board members, any site visits to declare? Nope. Also being none. And Mr. Dembo, if you would, need to swear you in, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thanks, sir. And for the record, please state your name and your position with PDS.
I am Patrick Denbo. I'm Senior Planner with Planning and Development Services.
Very good. Go ahead.
And thank you very much. So as was stated, this is a request to change from one nonconforming use, light fabrication, to another nonconforming use, medical cannabis cultivation. The site is a little over an acre in size. It's situated north of Dixie Highway, adjacent to the railroad. There is a private access road that is known as Burley Drive, which provides connection to Dixie Highway from the site. The existing zoning is CC, which is community commercial. Surrounding zoning, it consists of additional CC to the east, south, and west, and general industrial to the north. The existing land use is identified as industrial. Surrounding land uses are all commercial and transportation. This is a Google Earth image of the site. The yellow lines are representing the approximate property lines for your reference. The property contains an existing nonconforming use, which is Hankey Industrial, which uses the site for rigging and dispatch according to the company website. The existing building has a footprint of approximately 20,650 square feet and contains loading docks and paved areas for parking. The submitted information indicates that the proposed use will be medical cannabis cultivation. The applicant has indicated there will be about 20 employees. The operating hours are to be 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and the site has approximately 40 off-street parking spaces available. And the applicant indicates that the operations will be completely indoor. The applicant submitted a submission letter that includes the following information: that the noise levels will be controlled by implementing acoustically managed HVAC and dehumidifier systems. The applicant plans to implement an odor control and mitigation plan, which will include a modular odor mitigation system designed to prevent any detectable odors from leaving the facility, and will include industry best practices. The applicant also indicates that there will be no public traffic generated to the site, with all shipping and receiving taking place during daytime hours. The product will be transported via unmarked and secure vans operated by trained professionals in compliance with state regulations. The Erlanger zoning ordinance establishes that the Board of Adjustment has the authority to authorize changes from one nonconforming use to another nonconforming use. The Erlanger zoning ordinance permits medical cannabis cultivators within business park, flex industrial, and general industrial zones. The uses are not permitted, listed as permitted within the CC zones. The ordinance also establishes that the use is as regulated by KRS requirements. And then KRS establishes that the Board of Adjustment shall not permit a change from one nonconforming use to another nonconforming use unless the new nonconforming use is in the same or more restrictive classification of uses. Staff is providing a favorable recommendation on the request. The new nonconforming use is in the same or more restrictive classification of uses as the prior nonconforming use. The nature of the proposed use, including the state requirements, will be less impactful than the existing industrial. The proposed use will generate less traffic impacts. The applicant has established that the proposed use will utilize delivery vans rather than loud mechanical equipment, forklifts, or large vehicles. The proposed use will emit less noise and air pollution. The applicant has established, and state law requires, that all operations take place completely within the interior of the building. The applicant is also taking steps to avoid any detectable nuisance to adjacent properties by implementing acoustically managed systems and odor control strategies. And the proposed use must adhere to all requirements of the state of Kentucky in order to receive and maintain the required licenses, which will help to ensure the proper integration into the community. And just some additional information. So medical cannabis facilities, again, are regulated and licensed by the state of Kentucky, which defines cultivators as an entity that is licensed as such under KRS. It provides requirements for licensed businesses. These requirements include that they shall not be located within 1,000 feet of an existing elementary, secondary school, or daycare center. And the cultivation of mechanical cannabis for cannabis businesses licensed in the state shall only be done by cultivators licensed under this chapter of KRS and shall only take place in an enclosed locked facility, which can only be accessed by cultivator agents or on behalf of the cultivator at the physical address that was provided during the application process. Again, that's to the state. And I would be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Patrick. I do have one question, and I don't know if you would know, but I'll probably propose it to the applicant as well. Why go from one non-conforming use to another non-conforming use? Why not to a conforming use?
Sure. So I believe the applicant is desiring and planning to apply for a map amendment in the future that would change this site potentially, right, to a zoning district that allows these as a permitted use. However, I think timing-wise, the applicant was seeking this route because it gets them an approval sooner. State law does allow the Board of Adjustment to change non-conforming uses from one to another, as long as it states if the new use has to be the same or less classification of uses, more restrictive classification, which generally means less intense or the same intensity as the existing non-conforming use. It's probably a roundabout answer to your question, but that's as I understand it.
That was good. Thank you very much. Any other questions for Mr. Dembo? Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
We'll now have Mr. Woodward, if you want to come on up to the podium, please. And similar to Mr. Dembo, if I have to swear you in here, so if you would please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you very much. And for the record, would you please state your name and your address?
Daniel Woodward, 8576 North Ironwood Reserve Way, Tucson, Arizona, 85743.
Very good. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you for your time tonight. Just wanted to introduce myself and a little bit about our company. I'll try to keep this very brief. I'm the CEO of NatureMed. We operate cannabis businesses in Arizona and Missouri in their regulated markets. NatureMed's been around since 2012 in Arizona and 2021 in Missouri. We've been working with Jerry and Mark Collier and folks at PDS on this project, selecting the site. As you know, the state of Kentucky recently approved medicinal cannabis, and we're planning to operate 3 dispensaries as well in the state, and this cultivation is part of that overall business plan. I think this site is well suited for us. As was explained, the use is less intense than the prior. It is set back from the road and up against the railroad tracks in a location that makes sense. Our business won't involve any signage or really any drawing of attention to our use. We just sort of quietly enjoy the property and go about our business. Yeah, that's really all I had. Any questions?
Good. Thank you very much. I'll ask you the same question I asked Patrick. Why go from non-conforming to another non-conforming and not to a conforming use? And he provided an answer. Is that in line? Or maybe you can tell me what's the next steps for you guys?
Yeah, he answered it 100% the same way that I would. Based on the recommendation of our legal and of the realtors here in town, it seemed like the most efficient way to do this. And we can submit for that map amendment very soon as well.
Gotcha. Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Woodward? Oh, All good? Oh, go ahead.
Just curious, would this be the first location in Kentucky, if approved?
The first for us, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Mr. Denbo had listed some of the state requirements about where the location had to be outside the proximity of school zones and such. Does the state also require security type measures for the building, such as video surveillance, fencing, and other things that this location would be in compliance of?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? Unfortunately, we're not able to do a Q&A right now, but thank you. All right, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Next up on the list, and again, if you don't want to speak, you don't have to, you can just say pass. Mr. Shute? Pass. Pass, good to go. Mr. Henke? If you want to speak, please go to the podium so we can get you in the microphone, or if you're good, you're good. You're good? Pass, okay. Mr. Gadea? Pass, okay. Mr. Patel? Pass as well, all right. So that is through everybody on the list. There are no opponents, no neutrals. And again, this is the opportunity for the applicant to clarify anything, but I don't think there's any additional questions unless board members have think of anything. Nope. So I'll go ahead and close the public comment portion of the hearing, and we'll open discussion amongst the board members. Any discussion to be had? I think my big concern that they both addressed was going from non-conforming to non-conforming, and that it is clearly more restrictive than what it is. So that was the only question that I had on that, but I'm good. Anything else? Nothing else? Okay. We'll now close the discussion by the board members and invite anyone to make a motion.
I would like to make the following motion with reference to file number BOA-25-0013, a request to change from one nonconforming use to another in the community commercial zone of the Erlanger zoning ordinance. I move to approve the change from one nonconforming use to another based on the facts and considerations contained in the staff report and based on the testimony of staff and witnesses present at the public hearing, and find that the new nonconforming use is in the same or more restrictive classification of uses.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Farrow has made a motion to approve as provided. Do we have a second? Mr. Osterhag seconds. So again, a vote of yes is to approve the request. A vote of no is to turn it down. And I'll go ahead and take a roll call vote. Mr. Farrow?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Osterhag?
Yes.
Mr. McVeigh?
Yes.
Mr. Rolfe?
Yes.
And Mr. Whalen, yes. So the motion is go ahead, and it is passed unanimously. Thank you very much. You guys are more than welcome to stay, but you can go, and if you leave, just ask you to do so quietly so we can wrap up our meeting. Thank you. All right, I will now close the public hearing portion of tonight's meetings. And Mark, are there any preliminary hearings to discuss?
No preliminary hearings, I do not believe. I do expect something on the agenda for June. Patrick, if you have anything that you want to talk about now.
Yeah, I'm not aware of anything at this moment. That doesn't mean we don't have something. It's not anything that's come across my desk.
TBD, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Are there any rehearing appeals to discuss?
None at this time.
Very good. To the board members, any board items to discuss? Being none, Patrick, staff items, anything else to discuss? Nope. Good to go. The audience is cleared out. And you said the next meeting is to be determined, so I will go ahead and open the floor for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Mr. Osterhag makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Mr. McVeigh. Those in favor? Aye. Those opposed?